Welcome to Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history album by album and track by track. Today we have come to the second track on David Bowie's Heathen album from 2002. It's a cover song of Pixies called Cactus. And we're just going to go straight into it and have a listen.
Sitting here wishing on a cement floor, just wishing that I had just something you wore. I put it on when I go lonely. Will you take off your dress and send it to me? I miss your kiss and then I miss your head, and the letter in your writing doesn't mean you're not dead. Just run outside in the desert heat, make your dress all wet and send it to me. I miss your soup and I miss your bread, and the letter in your writing doesn't mean you're not dead. So spill your breakfast and drink your wine. Just wear that dress when you die. Sitting here wishing on a cement floor, just wishing that I had just something you wore. So bloody your hands on a cactus tree, wipe it on your dress and send it to me. Sitting here wishing on a cement floor, just wishing that I had just something you wore.
Someone dropped the drumsticks there at the end.
Well, I guess that was Bowie himself, because he's the one playing the drums, isn't it? So it's just like giving up.
I think he's playing almost everything.
Yeah, I guess he is.
A punk band of Bowie's trying to be as primitive as possible.
I have a feeling also that is why it's made like that, and it. I think that is a good idea for the song. It gets to be more garage style.
Yeah, he did this trick with Boy Skip swinging, where they switched instruments on Lodger to get it more
Raw.
and garagey.
Yeah.
And now he just said, "Okay, I'll just play everything myself and bash it out." And even the Stooges one-note piano.
He also plays the EMS Synthi AKS synthesizer here. Which was a gift from Brian Eno, and they used it on the Berlin trilogy, Low amongst others.
It's a great track. It's
written by Black Francis, or Charles Thompson, as it's called, from Pixies, highlighted by Bowie as an example of the underrated songwriting of him.
Yeah, it's a very cool original song as well.
Mm.
I can understand why I chose it. And you kind of need this as a second song to break things up a bit.
He praised Pixies in an interview. He also praised Sonic Youth and Scott Walker in the same interview, citing them as influential, expressing a wish they had written some of their iconic songs, but found pleasure in performing them. We hear that here.
Well, he did Pixies before, I think, as a Tin Machine. They did Debaser.
Yeah.
And Frank Black Francis also played on Bowie's 50-year celebration concert in Madison Square Garden in 97.
Yeah, January 97.
And I almost wonder if that, because at this time when the album came out, I was a big Neil Young fan. And we'll get to this track later, but track number 6, I've Been Waiting for You, which is also covered by Pixies. Because why on earth would he choose that song? I remember thinking of all Neil Young songs,
Yeah, it's true.
something from his debut album, which is not really the one that is maybe you would think of as his first.
I mean, I love the original song by Neil Young. So
Yeah, but it's
great.
it's an unusual choice, but that's also what Bowie does.
It's more a cover of the Pixies version than of the original. You could argue.
Yeah.
This is a palate cleanser, you could call it. Not that it's not a great track in its own, but between the large, grandiose opening of Sunday, and then you have Slip Away, which is the big ballad with an enormous chorus at the end, and you need something completely different, and that's a trick he uses often on this album. He just switches between different type of songs, giving the album sequencing is this dynamic that is also, the Pixies dynamic, because that's one of the things they are famous for, having this low, loud, that almost everyone and their dog used in the 90s.
Yeah, and there will always be a discussion to why would you put cover songs on an album when you have more originals that you could have put there and that are now on B-sides instead. But I'm also wondering if that is, as you say, has more to do with the sequencing of the album and the flow.
Yeah, it could be, because there's a lot of great songs he left out.
This song has been described as a sophisticated piece of garage rock. And it...
Is there such a thing?
This.
Sounds like a contradiction. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has a rawness in it, and that came from the demo version, and that's also the reason why Bowie wanted to play the instruments himself. He wanted to keep that rawness from the demo. He plays almost everything, but he doesn't play bass. That's played by Tony Visconti. Other than that, he treats the vocals, guitar, piano, keyboard, synthesizer, saxophone, and drums. So it's quite a lot.
Bowie and the one-man band.
And there's a funny little piece in the middle there where he spells out his name in the break of the song. And of course, Pixies had spelled out their name, Pixies. But that was again inspired when T-Rex did this in their song called The Groover. So it goes all the way back to who inspired who here.
The riff is a little bit T-Rexy, little glam.
It could have been
riff when you say it.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been a T-Rex song. Bowie's cover of a T-Rex song.
The mix is interesting because it opens with this panning that you hear on if you got the headphones on, of drums in one ear, and you got this guitar strumming in the other, and then that makes it build, because the song also build, with the refrain where there's a wall of noise this, Butchwig-ish. Let's put on as much multi-tracks as we can.
Pixies actually performed the song at the Bowie tribute concert in 2016. That's quite cool. And he was asked about this recording in 2009. And Frank Black then said, "Do I like David Bowie? A big yes. How do you feel when David Bowie covers one of your songs? Really great, It's like having Jesus Christ come out of the clouds and say, 'You have done well, my son.' It doesn't get any bigger than that."
That's a good quote.
Did they spell out David when they played it?
No. On the 2016?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I hope they did.
If you know,
would
you
assume they
can
did.
write
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
Bowie himself played it a lot, 160 times.
It's probably a fun song to
Must
play.
be more or less all the songs on the last two tours, I would assume.
Yeah, it must be. Maybe the most played song on.
There was about 37 concerts on Heathen and 110-ish.
Yeah.
I don't get the math to... How do we get up to 160? It was also played on various TVs and radio, so maybe
Probably.
they played it everywhere. It's also on the reality tour, DVD and album. So, yeah. No, I can imagine it is a fun song to play.
Yeah. I can as well. It sits well in a set list.
It does.
And the lyrics are great too. Short, simple. I haven't counted them, but I can assume that they follow Iggy Pop's golden rule of not more than, I don't know how many words he said, 30 words in a song. Different words. And it has a structure.
Yeah, it might have a bit more words than that, but it does have a repeating or phrases that is sort of changed a little bit from line to line, from verse to verse. All about ending each verse with sending the dress to him.
Getting more dramatic every time.
Bloody your hands on a cactus tree, wipe it on your dress and send it to me.
Yes.
It's an image.
Sleazy, desperate plea.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that it's about a guy sitting in prison.
Mm-hmm. It says sitting and wishing on a cement floor.
And a letter in your writing doesn't mean you're not dead. It's also a good line.
That's a
Miss your kissing and I miss your head.
sinister line.
Thank you to everyone who was watching us. We'll end it there. And we will jump on to the next track in the next episode. That will be Slip Away by David Bowie. One of his original songs. We also have a podcast where we are discussing this whole album from start to end and everything around it. And we have a Patreon where you can get early access to all the songs on this album. You can join us listening to it from start to end, in addition to everything on the podcast. My name is Frode.
My name is Trond.
And my name is still Chris.
And have a nice day and goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Don't slip away.